IT Essentials, Wednesday, 10/23. Day 17, week 9. We briefly mobile devices, briefly laptop details, and then the students worked a lot on their research material in groups. Took this test, the CERT checkpoint test, and then if they had time left, they could go back and work on their research material. Work on materials, they need to go through chapter 7, which we're working on here, and take the exam. You should take it probably 3 times, I believe it's set up for them. And they can start looking at the work we'll do with printers on Monday. These are the groups. The research group, port replicators and docking and so forth. Group 1, all the information about screens. Group 3, batteries. Group 4, drives. Group 2, and then specs. Make sure you include memory. Group 5. We talked a little bit about managing and protecting data. This is a review. Can we trust the data? Who can see what? And we need to make the data available. And this data, digitized data, we talked about it being stored when it's moving, when it's being processed. So a lot of times to keep data confidential, a lot of times people think in transit when we're moving data, but it can also be when it's being stored. When you think about those two, we can take this plain text data, encrypt it into some type ciphertext, and they mention a 128-bit encryption. Well, they're talking about a 128-bit key that you put in the algorithm, like advanced encryption system. And so you use a key only you know. You use this algorithm to create this text. Then the only way to unencrypt the text is if you're using a shared key, use that same key in this algorithm to unencrypt it. To manage the process of protecting data, we can use products and devices like firewalls, products that help us encrypt data, like down here, advanced encryption system, using some algorithm and so forth. So we have all kinds of things we can put into place here. It only works if the people do that. I mentioned before doing awareness training. Are you aware of security issues? People need to know what procedures they should do. A real simple example would be to change passwords. Now most people say, well, that's easy to do, but it is a procedure and people need to know how to do it. And there could be literally lots of procedures that people need to follow within an organization. How do they know what procedures they need to follow? Well, we have a policy that they need to follow, security policy, and there can be guidelines. Guidelines are like a policy, but may be considered more suggestions. Okay. Some companies could force a password change. Other companies would suggest that you change your password often. That makes sense? Hope so. Then things on a laptop, webcam and mics, we should be aware of details there. We should be aware of how we manage power management. Hopefully the group with the batteries cover that. Cellular connections versus Wi-Fi. We talked about radio and antennas being in our mobile devices. Flash memory, you know, USB, different types of flash cards and so forth. Be a type of storage. We talked about drives earlier, or the group is. Hardware replacement. There is a whole section that talks about what you need to be concerned about in replacing hardware in laptops and also other devices. Okay? And that's it.